Hi, my name is Tracy Richards, and I'm with the Northern Virginia chapter of 100 Women Who Care and also the 100 Who Care Alliance. And today we are hosting our last best practices call for the season, and it is about starting and sustaining a kids chapter in your community. On the call today, we have Paula Campbell, who runs the the kids chapter, Paula, in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Mary Clapp, who runs the newly minted Informed chapter for teens in Tennessee. We're going to have a very informal conversation because it is just the three of us and talk about our respective kids chapters and how they came to form and came to be, and any hurdles or successes, I shouldn't say or, and successes between and what they've learned in their experiences between their chapters. And mine is really easy. We don't have a kids chapter. So with that, I'm going to turn over the microphone and maybe pipe in with a question here and there. We'll start with Paula, because Paula, you just mentioned a few minutes ago that your chapter is about to enter its 8th meeting. So you've been in existence for 2 years. Talk to us a little bit about how your chapter runs and how it came to be and how it's doing.
Thank you so much, Tracy. So we started March 5th, 2015, and it is run by a group of volunteers, and it's an initiative of the World Economic Forum, and it's called the Global Shapers Community. So it's consisted of a group of volunteers under the age of 30, and they're looking to do things in their community to help youth. So I found out about 100 Women Who Care when I was doing a training program up in Toronto for work, and I met a woman named Allison Kitts from Windsor, Ontario, and she introduced 100 Women Who Care. And then she had 2 kids at the time who were 8 and 10, and she started the chapter in Windsor and thought it'd be an excellent idea to start the chapter here in Halifax. So we have our 8th meeting coming up, and I have to say it's just been an absolute overwhelming success in the community, and we've been really blown away to see the parents and community and the kids really back up the cause and really get excited about what they're doing, and they're making an impact in their local community. That being said, that's the success side. I guess I'll jump into some of the hurdles and the challenges that we've experienced. I would say that our major hurdle is participation and getting the nominations in. So a quick outline of how we run 100 Kids Who Care Halifax. We have a website, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And like I mentioned, we have a group of about 8 volunteers, all under the age of 30, who none have kids. None of us have kids, so it's kind of interesting to be running a kids group for parents. But we all come from different backgrounds, so social media, web design, finance, engineering. So we all kind of bring something different to the table. And what we're finding really difficult is that the meeting is running really well. The kids are excited about it, but it's hard to get the nominations in before the meeting to have 3 prepared to speak. And we haven't been able to break 50 kids. The most we've had is 48 children at one of the meetings. So it's a little bit different. We ask the kids to bring $10. The kids show up, they get a name tag, they give their $10, they get a ballot. We always have a activity at the beginning of the meeting to get them talking to each other and become interactive. We always have snacks. The meeting runs from 6:30 till 7:15 p.m. and we always try to make it 45 minutes to be respectful of the parents' time. And so we open the night, we get the kids excited about being there, we reveal the 3 charities, and we do this with one of the kids. We always rotate one of the kids being a co-host with us. We kind of run the evening, but we always make sure that the kid is the one up there speaking and introducing the charities. We have the 3 presentations. We vote, and we have official election ballot boxes from Canada Election Office.
That's cool.
Which kind of makes it official. We congratulate the kids on exercising their democratic right to vote, and we have a lineup of volunteers giving them high fives when they come off the stage from voting. And while we're counting the ballots, we always have the charity that was successful from the previous meeting come and talk to the kids about what they did with the donation, because it really sends a message home of, here's the money you brought together with your friends and peers, and here's where it went. And then after we do that, we always talk to the kids about what they're going to do in their local communities between now and the next meeting. So we invite the kids to come up and talk about what they're doing. Some people are walking dogs, some people are volunteering with seniors. So it's really amazing to see that the kids get it. They understand that $10 is not a lot of money, but when you come together with a group, you can make a big impact. And we say thank you. We announce the next meeting, and we're out by 7:15.
That's great.
How do you how do the kids get the money? Are they saving their allowance? Are they working for it? Are their parents handing them $10 as they walk in the door? That's a question that seems to come from people who are interested in starting kids groups and the info ad emails that we get at the Alliance.
Yep. So I would say all of the above. We do have a lot of kids come up and they're putting their money in, and they love telling us that this is their birthday money, or this is from their piggy bank, or they did chores to get the money. Some parents just hand their kids $10. We do have some parents give $20 just because they say, we know it's only $10, but we feel really passionate about this and we want, to. So I guess I can't really say one way or another. We've had pretty much everything.
There's no stipulations.
We encourage on our website. We do encourage it to come from the kids and something the kids have done. I mean, we can't guarantee or regulate how they get the money, but we do encourage it to come not just from a guardian or a parent giving them $10.
Great.
And Paula, do you all meet quarterly or monthly?
Quarterly.
Quarterly. Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday, 6:30 to 7:15 p.m. And we change our location every time. We always rotate around the city so that we kind of incorporate different areas of the city as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And our age is 5 to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'd say the average age is about 8 or 9 years old, to be honest. It's usually around then, that age.
So,
okay.
Mary Clapp in Nashville with the teens. Do you want to speak a little bit about your chapter and what you're doing?
Sure. So we are just getting off the ground. My good friend Brittany Lorenzi, who I thought was going to be on here, I was concerned maybe she thought she got Eastern or Central mixed up. I'm not sure, but anyway, she has been involved in 100 Women for a while, and then learned about this 100 Teens, and has a teenage daughter, and so wanted to start this for her daughter and her daughter's friends to get involved. I don't have a teen. I have an 8-year-old, but have been involved in other things. She asked me to kind of help get this off the ground with her. So it's new for us both. Her daughter, I guess we've had 4 meetings now, so it's been about a year. We've got 30 folks signed up, 30 teens that have signed up. But we are kind of having trouble getting kids to come. I think because of our ages, we do, what is it? 10 to 18, basically 10 through 17, which is a really broad range. We did 10 and 11 and 12-year-olds just because a lot of our members initially who were really excited about it had siblings that were also excited about it. So we thought, well, why not include them as well? Then, they can come with their older sibling and try and keep it rolling, get some more members that way. But we meet quarterly. We've tried to kind of do it around town, but around the city. And we do have members from different pockets of Nashville, but the majority of our members are kind of located in one area called Brentwood, sort of out in the suburbs, and that's where we've had better turnout with those meetings in Brentwood as opposed to elsewhere in the city.
Mary, are the kids, are the teens, the kids, are they coming in with a donation? How much is their donation, and who's doing the nominating and the presenting there?
Yeah, it's $15 a quarter, and the kids are bringing the money. I don't know how they all get it. I think some parents give it. It comes out of their allowance. It comes out of their tithing. This area of in Middle Tennessee is that people call it the buckle of the Bible Belt. It's very, very, very churchy, so to speak. And so I think that I think a lot of parents are factoring this into what they would normally give to their church.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was your other question?
Talk to us about your nominations.
Oh, yes. We have the kids nominate. We encourage them to look up different nonprofits around town. We gave them like it has to be a nonprofit. We gave them specific guidelines. They can't just pick something random. Like it needs to be an established organization. But we let them do the research, and if they have questions or need some guidance, we're here to help. But we kind of want the teens to
bring forth,
to bring it forward. There's so many around here, and they're old enough. They all have phones. They can Google. We encourage them, find something that speaks to you, find something that means something to you or your family. And say if it's cancer, well, Susan G. Komen's easy. Maybe do a little research and look around to see if there's some smaller organization that needs help as well.
Correct.
Kind of, how does it impact your community? Is there a specific kind of cancer that you're looking? Kind of some of those, kind of helping them learn how to research and find out more about what's available in your community.
Yeah.
And they've had some really great nominations. They've done well, and we have them present, and we tell them, it's only 4 or 5 minutes. They present, and then we have them vote. And in theory, we've been trying then to, when we collect all of the money, we get everybody to go to the organization to give the money and take a tour, if that's possible. Say it's like a food bank or something like that.
Right.
You can kind of go tour. But Paula, I loved your idea about having the organization, the benefactor from the previous quarter, come to the next meeting.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things we are struggling with is attendance. We've got members, but like one meeting we had 25 kids, and the next meeting we had 3.
Yeah.
And now we're scrambling because we said, even if you can't make the meeting, you still need to donate. You still need to get your donations in. And so we've been having trouble getting the donations for people that don't come to the meeting.
Yeah.
It's not that effective when you've collected, $45.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of where I think we're struggling, is getting to the meeting.
Yeah.
And getting people to people that come to the meeting bring their money.
So Paula,
but we need to get people to the meeting.
Yeah.
Paula, how do you address that? How have you addressed that? Is that, because of the partnership that you've created, or just because of the strong community support? Back in 2 years of existence, I'm throwing darts. So
yeah. So I guess I know some other chapters, they do it where you sign up at the beginning of the year and you donate $40, and you commit to that. I know another chapter where if they become a member, that means that they have to give their $10, and then the organizers are chasing people around trying to get $10. Like, I have absolutely zero interest in chasing people down for money. I'm not doing it. I find it awkward.
It's no fun.
And so the way that we have established it is that however many kids show up times $10 is what the charity gets. And it's better than nothing. And I think the messaging that the kids are still learning about 3 other charities and they're coming together is just as powerful as the, if it's 10 kids, as the $100 the charity's getting. So we just do not entertain anything about chasing people down for money, or I mean, if someone signs up at the beginning of the year and then they pay their $40 and they realize they don't like it, well, do you refund $30? I don't want to have a bank account. I don't want to hold money. We get the money, we donate it the next day, and it's out of our hands. We have a receipt to show. We always have 2 people count the money. We always have 2 people give the money. Like it's just from day one, we said this has to be as simple as we can make it to keep it going. And when we start to complicate is when it's not fun. And so we just keep it easy. To comment as well on your the age thing. So we did get quite a bit of backlash from parents who said, I have a 16-year-old and 11-year-old, and you're telling me I can only bring one. And we were about to waver, and then we said, you know what, we're pretty firm on this. The dynamic of a meeting with a 7-year-old and a 17-year-old is completely different. And
Totally.
we didn't want to try to please people and then lose the quality of what the meeting is going to be. So we said, sorry, it's 5 to 12, it's kids, it's not teenagers, and this is what it is. And we've had to make some hard decisions over the last two years, but I think it made it better. It's almost like, like a low economy airline trying to do things. It's like, no, you're a low economy airline. Do what you do, and don't try to keep pleasing everyone. I don't know, are we doing the right thing or not? I don't know, but it seems to be working. We do have a lot of the same kids coming. We have parents saying that their kids are so excited about coming. We do at the beginning of the meeting ask the kids, how'd you find out about the meeting? We get them to stand up if they found out about school, if they found out about through a friend. So we kind of get them moving and talking. But I would say, we've had 2 meetings where we've only had 1 nomination, and we've had to find 2 people at the door to get up and speak. And I hate that. I don't like that feeling. So I think our biggest hurdle is, we post comments on our Facebook and Twitter saying, have you spoke to your kids about what cause it means something to them? Get your nominations in, but that's been our hurdle. And the other thing too, I mean, there's a lot going on in the community. On purpose, we haven't gone into any schools because we want kids and parents to be there who want to be there, not because they got a flyer at school and it's another thing their kid has to do. Like, we want kids there who are leaders, who are, strong public speakers, who, not just because it's another thing that they have to do if it came home in their agenda. Again, that was a tough decision to make, but if we keep smaller numbers, but we have kids there who really are there because they want to be, I think it's a better meeting.
Yeah. How big of an area are you pulling from? Do a lot of your members go to the same school or maybe the same church or live in the same community?
No. I guess the population of all around Halifax is about 500,000. It sounds so tiny compared to the States.
Yeah.
But, we're looking at the HRM. It's quite a few different areas. I mean, we have people who are coming from 45 minutes away to 10 minutes away to 30. Like, it's a big area.
Because I know I can say here in Northern Virginia, one of the co-founders of the chapter I'm with in Northern Virginia, she is interested in starting a kids chapter, and we might have 1, maybe even 2 of these launch. And she's thinking about doing it as a school based, and like in lieu of a Girl Scout type program, in all honesty, and keep it specific to the area where the schools are. So it's going to be instead of the whole entire geographic region, it's going to be very, very localized, and that's going to be her focus. Or at least that's what she's intending her focus to be. She's trying to rope me into doing this. Sorry, Michelle.
Yeah. That's kind of what I keep going back towards when we talk about, how are we going to get people to come, and I feel like if we sort of narrowed our draw, and we could still, there are actually 5 huge high schools within a 10-mile radius of each other. I'm not kidding. Or about 10, 15-mile radius. And I feel like if we kind of narrowed our draw, and because of the teens, if you do, 10 to 17, or even if you upped it like ages 13 to 17, if we narrowed the area, then it does kind of become, you get you get groups in schools, and then maybe it's like the cool thing to do, right? Like, oh, are you going to the 100 Plus meeting tonight? Yeah, I'll see you there. You know how these tweens all, get in their little clubs. I kind of am hoping maybe if we did something like that, we could get a bigger draw, maybe.
Yeah. We've used
And
a lot of media, so newspapers and news stations, journalists we've been blown away by the support by the community. I mean, I don't know any, it's not like CNN, but for us, CTV and CBC and Global are, pretty big in the area.
Yeah.
And they've all, our Halifax Herald, so our main newspaper, they've done 4 or 5 write-ups on us. The radio stations have us on with, the day before the meeting. So we've done really, really well there. And we even do focus groups sometimes at our meetings while the kids are getting a snack. We kind of pull the parents aside and do a super quick 5-minute focus group and say, how should we get the word out? And we've heard that homeschooling lists was a big thing that came up the last meeting that we didn't even think about, getting in their newsletter. So focus group has something new that we started that's been pretty interesting. For the snack, the other thing I wanted to bring up as well is that we always try to support a local catering company. And that's how we do. It's really funny. One of the kids came in, he said, I'm always so excited to see what the food's going to be. I mean, that's why he comes to the meeting, because he's really excited for the snack. But hey, whatever brings him there. So we always try to support a local food source. And the other thing that we do as well, because, when you're a kid and you're 7 years old and you got up and you spoke in front of a room full of people and you're brave and you're talking about the cause that matters to you, we always donate $50 to the other 2 charities to say thank you to them for getting up there and speaking.
Who's bringing that money to the table, and who's paying for the catering?
Yeah.
So I work for, actually, I guess you guys probably know, Virginia might have. I work for TD Bank, so I work for one of the Canadian banks. Okay, yeah. And so my manager is the sponsor.
Got it.
So
you find sponsors to cover the costs, those additional costs of the 2 other charities, which is just $100 plus the food. Brilliant.
That's it. And everything else is volunteer. And I mean, the other thing too with us, we have about 8 volunteers. Like I said, we're all under the age of 30 with no kids, which it's been nice to have the focus groups to hear from parents, because we have no idea what's going on in the world of kids. We're all just kind of young working professionals and just doing this as a volunteer thing. So this is really nice for me, because I'm now kind of hearing parent side of it and what they like and what they want out of it. But I have to say, the successes far, far outweigh the hurdles we've had, for sure.
Great. So let's change gears just a second. Let me ask another question. Are either of your chapters doing any outside community service other than making the monetary donation? Are you coming up with service projects, community service projects, an opportunity for the kids to get together and, I don't know, rake leaves for the elderly, or again?
No. That's a topic that has been discussed with amongst the leaders of my group, how that maybe we could, that was something that we would like to do, but we have not.
And Paula, what about you?
No, we haven't either. We're thinking about doing, we can't call it this, we have to think of a better name, but a seniors day. So we're thinking about trying to get a community hall rented out and bring together people who traditionally wouldn't be in contact with each other. And, if it's learning how to play cards, or if it's reading a book, or if it's knitting, but bringing together seniors and kids for an afternoon on a Sunday and just facilitating the space for them to come together. Again, we can't call it Seniors Day. That's the worst name ever, but something along those ideas of, intergenerational fun day or something. So that's something we're trying to piggyback on by already having a database of kids available.
Great.
So yeah.
Old People Day.
You get it.
One of the points that one of my committee members had brought up when we were talking about trying to do a community service or community outreach through 100 plus teens is that one of our selling points for doing this is, hey, we're all busy. These kids all have school and homework and extracurriculars and sports, and the parents are busy, and and that this is a really easy way that would only require a $60 a year commitment, and maybe 4 hours a year.
Yeah.
Is a really great way to impact your community, with it being a very simple, not time-consuming thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so does then organizing more community involvement kind of stuff sort of go against that?
And data is.
That, yeah.
And that's why that's why I asked, because as I explained before we started recording the call, about 8 or 10 months ago, I sent an email out to all of the leaders of the kids chapters that existed at the time with a questionnaire asking them to, please talk about the chapter. And I don't know, I came up with 10 or 15, maybe even 20 questions. It may have been 4. I don't remember. And just how do you run? And, what is your monetary commitment? Are you doing community service? And just try to come at this for an approach to be able to put a how to start a kids chapter kit online, very similar to what we did when we redid the website about a year ago. And so the next phase of the build out of the website is to include all of this information about the kids chapters, because they all run differently, and everybody who responded to the questionnaires made that point perfectly clear to me, that there's no right or wrong way. And this is true of all of our chapters, the men's chapters, the women's chapters, even the mixed gender people chapters. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's what works best in your community, and what your community and what your market can bear. And so it's interesting, because there are so many ways to do this, and everybody does do it differently. So
yeah,
I think that was the point.
I mean, I see a long-term vision if we can get the chapter built up to where we've got a really good core group that are really invested and are participating, and then saying, hey, do you guys want to do anything different or do anything additional, and see if that group would be interested in doing that, doing some community outreach. But I feel like we've got to get this chapter built first.
But what happens when the kids age out? What happens?
Pardon?
What happens when the kids age out? What happens when the kids hit high school, Paula? What happens, Mary, when your kids go to college? Does that core group all of a sudden disappear and dissipate, or have they been mentoring and bringing up the people behind to take the leadership role from the kids' point of view? Because it would seem to me, and listen, I struggle in my own women's chapter here of trying to get past 58 members. And what seems most logical to me is everybody go out and talk to their friends about it, and everybody bring a friend to the next meeting. If 58 people all brought a friend to the next meeting, we'd be well over 100 people giving well over $10,000. So if the kids did that, if they went into their schools, if they went into their scouting programs, if they went into their church youth groups, or all their sporting teams and everything else that they do after school, and they talk to their friends about it and get their friends interested in it to be able to come with them. It's the best marketing out there, aside obviously from the media and what the media can provide. So
absolutely. Yeah, we did do
but the kids
we did do this. Let's see, we did it it was in August. We did we called it a back to school bash. And we did it at a local park, and had snacks and desserts and all kinds of stuff, and encouraged everybody to bring a friend and come just learn about 100 plus teens, as well as some nonprofits. We had several nonprofits that us volunteers have a connection with come and set up a little table and talk about what their organization does. And a lot of them are involved with teens and kids, and just, just kind of learn to see some of these organizations that you can help. We had a decent turnout with that. We were hoping that would garner more membership, but it didn't really do much, sadly.
Yeah. And even with the idea of bring a friend, I mean, kids say they're going to, and then, their kid is in hockey or their friend's in hockey and can't come. It's
right. It's the same with the adults. It's neither here nor there. But, that is a question that, and we might not have the answer to it too, but at least we're putting a thread in maybe somebody else's mind as they go maybe listen to this video or watch this video or listen to this audio down the road about what happens when and if. I do recall at the conference it was in 2015, so a year and a half ago. I recall at the conference, one of the chapters didn't matter if kids came or not. So it was a women's group, but if a man wanted to show up, he was welcome. It was if the kids wanted to come, kids were there. I think that they used high school kids as volunteers to help collect the money and do the check-in and everything as well. So there was a way they incorporated the kids into their women's chapter into their chapter in some capacity. And so they didn't have an age restriction. It was just anybody could attend. And, it's maybe something or another way that another chapter wants to form as they're listening to this.
Yeah.
Anything that we're leaving out? Any questions that you have of one another or something?
No, I think I'm okay for now. It'd be nice to have your email as well, just if you have any questions starting up the teams.
Yeah, I would love to exchange contact information for sure.
Okay.
Share that
Tracy can facilitate that. I think she has both. Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
Well,
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop recording the call. We can continue talking.
Okay.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. And as always, if you have questions, send them to info@100whocarealliance.org. And we will either plug you in with Mary. If you have questions for Mary or Paula, please feel free to send us an email at the info@ email address, and I will forward it off to either of them. And just so you know that we will be having a breakout session to talk about kids chapters at the Alliance conference, the Sow the Seeds for Success conference, which is being held in Chicago in April, at the end of April, the 28th and 29th, I believe the dates are. So that is another great opportunity to meet like-minded individuals and network with one another. So we hope you'll join us there as well. Thanks for your time and have a great day.